Have you ever come across a book that's so important, so foundational, that it's called a mother? Not just any mother, mind you, but the mother of all Buddhists. Well, today we're diving into one of Mahayana Buddhism's most incredible texts, the Prajñāpāramitā Sutra. You might know it as the perfection of wisdom.
Right off the bat, you have to wonder, how can a collection of pages, of words, be a mother? It sounds a little strange, for sure. But this ancient text makes this incredible claim, that it literally gives birth to enlightenment. So what on earth does that actually mean?
You know, it's this really beautiful and powerful metaphor. The sutra itself says something like, all Buddhas are born from this. So the idea is that the wisdom held within these pages is the very womb from which an enlightened mind arises. To really get that, we need to understand the journey it's describing.
And that journey, it's captured right there in the name, Prajñāpāramitā. It means the perfection of wisdom, but it has this much more poetic translation, the wisdom that has gone to the other shore. See? That immediately suggests a journey, a crossing from one way of being to a completely different one. So let's talk about where we start.
We start right here, on this shore, the shore of our day-to-day lives, our everyday experience. And according to this text, it's a place that's built on a profound fundamental illusion.
So think about it. We tend to see the world as solid, right? It's made of all these separate things that are just there. My desk, my phone, me. But the sutra comes along and completely flips that script. It says reality is actually fluid, it's all interconnected, and it's constantly changing. What we think is a solid thing is really more like a flowing river.
And that goes for our sense of self, too. The sutra breaks down what we call me into these 5 bundles, or skandhas: our physical body, our feelings, how we label things, our thoughts and habits, and our basic awareness. We cling to all of this, thinking it makes up some permanent solid me. But the sutra says a bodhisattva, that someone on the path to becoming a Buddha, sees that these 5 skandhas have no real substance. They're empty of any fixed, separate existence.
Okay, so if we're stuck on this shore of illusion, how do we get across the river to that other shore of wisdom? Well, you're going to need a boat. And lucky for us, the sutra gives us the blueprint to build one.
This boat, this vessel for the journey, is built from 6 essential planks. These are called the 6 perfections. They're the core practices of a bodhisattva. You've got generosity, morality, patience, diligence, concentration, and then the final and most important one of all, wisdom. You can think of it like this. Those first 5 perfections, they build you a sturdy boat. But without that 6th one, without wisdom, your boat is just drifting aimlessly. It has no direction. Wisdom is the compass for the journey. The text itself has this absolutely fantastic way of explaining it. It says that practicing things like generosity and patience without the guiding light of wisdom, well, it's like painting a beautiful, intricate masterpiece, but forgetting to paint the eyes. It's lifeless. It lacks the one thing it needs to actually see. So what is this all-important wisdom? It's the direct, gut-level realization of what the sutra calls shunyata, or emptiness. Now this is a huge one, and it's so often misunderstood. This does not mean nothingness, or that nothing exists. It means that all things, including you and me, are empty of a separate, standalone self. Everything only exists because it's connected to everything else. You see, when you truly, deeply get this idea of interconnectedness, you're suddenly freed. You're freed from all the attachments and the fears that keep us stuck on that shore of illusion. This wisdom becomes your compass, allowing you to navigate the world with real clarity and compassion.
And boom, here we are, right back at our original question. This is the crucial point. This profound, liberating insight into the nature of reality, that is the mother. It's the generative, creative wisdom from which all Buddhas, all enlightened beings are born.
So we have our starting point, we have our boat, we have our compass. But what about the destination? What is this other shore? Well, this might just be the most surprising part of the entire teaching.
I mean, really think about it. After all that work, building the boat of the perfections, using the compass of wisdom to navigate the river of illusion, what do you find when you finally arrive? What is this nirvana, this other shore?
And the text delivers this absolutely incredible paradox. The whole point isn't to get something or to attain a special state. Enlightenment isn't some prize you win at the end. The text says there's actually no attainment at all. It's more like a fire going out. The fuel for suffering is just gone.
And here's the final mind-bending twist. The journey across the river, it was all a journey of perception. The other shore was never a different place. It's this shore, our world, just seen with new eyes, the eyes of wisdom. Enlightenment isn't about escaping the world. It's about seeing the world and ourselves just as we are, empty, interconnected, and fundamentally free.
And that kind of leaves us with one last massive question to chew on, doesn't it? If there's nothing to gain for yourself and no other place you need to get to, then why bother with the journey at all? And the sutra's answer is actually beautifully simple. You do it for the sake of everyone else who is still lost in the illusion. The whole point of the journey isn't personal gain. It's boundless compassion.